Good day and welcome to the Voice Online TV with me, your presenter, NDEY SENGHORE. Now the headlines. Barra urges stronger commitment to democracy and rule of law. EFSCRJ says never again. Promise remains unfulfilled 10 years after Jammeh's defeat. PPP flag bearer Sekou Sawa withdraws from party partnership. Gambia seeks diplomatic support for ICC judicial candidate. Gambian Nasheed artist expresses gratitude to Q Group and QTV for career support. Gambia's chief tax collector calls for stronger leadership in African tax administration. UDP insists on party-led coalition ahead of 2026 election. GFF donates vehicles to regional association to strengthen grassroots football. Now the news in details. President Adama Barrow on Wednesday called on citizens and state institutions to strengthen the country's democratic foundation by upholding the rule of law, accountability, and the independence of public institutions. Speaking at the opening of the tripartite conference on the Commonwealth Latima House Principle at the South Dauda Karabakh Jawara International Conference Center, Barrow said the country's democratic progress depends on maintaining a balance between the executive, legislature, and judiciary. The three-day conference is being held under the theme Upholding the Rule of Law and Democratic Balance, a tripartite engagement on the Latima House Principles in the Gambia. President Barrow said the Latima House Principles provided an important framework for safeguarding judicial independence, accountable governance, and respect for the rule of law. The strength of our nation lies not in the power of one branch of government, but in the balance among all three, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, he said. He described the conference as a demonstration of Gambia's commitment to strengthening democratic governance through dialogue, cooperation, and mutual respect among the three arms of government. According to the President, the participation of representatives of the executive, legislature, judiciary, and Commonwealth partners underscored the importance of collaboration in protecting democratic institutions. Editorial: Africa must collect what is owed. The message emerging from the 7th Head of Tax Administration Masterclass in the Gambia is both timely and complying. Africa cannot continue to depend on external assistance while vast domestic revenue remains uncollected. Sustainable development begins with country's ability to finance its own priorities. For decades, African governments have relied heavily on donor support and external borrowing to fund infrastructure, healthcare, education, and social services. While international partnerships remain valuable, they cannot replace strong domestic revenue systems. The continent's average tax to GDP ratio, about 15%, remains far below the developed economies, limiting governments' capacity to invest in development. The challenge is not simply about collecting more taxes, it's about collecting them fairly, efficiently, and transparently. As ATAF Executive Secretary Mary Bain rightly observed, the money is not missing, it is uncollected. Weak compliance, illicit financial flows, tax evasion, and administrative inefficiency continue to deny African countries billions in legitimate revenue. Now we'll go for a quick break. Welcome back. We head to sport news. GFF donates vehicles to regional association to strengthen grassroots football. The Gambian Football Federation, GFF, on Wednesday handed over 8 new 4-wheel drive double cabin pickup trucks to the country's 7 regional football association, RAFs, and the Women's Football Unit to strengthen grassroots football development. The vehicles were presented during a ceremony at Football House in Carnifin, presided over by GFF President Lamin Kabah Bajo. Speaking at the event, Bajo described the handover as another milestone for Gambian football, saying the vehicles will improve mobility, facilitate the organization of football activities, and enhance the operational capacity for the regional association and the women's football unit. He said the initiative forms part of the federation's long-term strategy to equip its football structures with the resource needed to promote football development across the country. According to the GFF, the 8 vehicles, one for each of the 7 regional football associations and one for the women's football unit, were procured through FIFA's Forward 3.0 program. A quick recap of the headlines. Borough urges stronger commitment to democracy and rule of law. EFSC-RJ says never again, promise remains unfulfilled 10 years after Jammeh's defeat. PPP flag bearer Sekou Sawa withdraws from party partnership. Gambia seeks diplomatic support for ICC judicial candidate. Gambian Nasheed artist expresses gratitude to Q Group and QTV for carrier support. Gambia's chief tax collector calls for strong leadership in African tax administration. UDP insists on party-led coalition ahead of 2026 election. GFF donates vehicles to regional association to strengthen grassroots football. That's all for now. You're watching The Voice Online TV with me, your presenter, NDEY. Do have a nice day and do stay tuned with our programs.